Thank you so much. Split on the cards, and you know, Neil Zenia was talking about how they knew what were the adjustments they had to make. They changed composition, they changed roles a little bit more specifically, but I think the big takeaway is not just those minor adjustments like that, Dre, but I think they're really prepared for what's going on here. They knew EDG were going to pick Split. They knew what tendencies they like to lean around, and more importantly, they knew their weaknesses when they played against G2.
Yeah, and when they played against G2, I mean, they didn't really show much of anything. I mean, they got completely steamrolled. You know what I mean?
Right,
The
yeah.
only shining light was Heretics' attack side. So the fact that they're starting on this defensive side again, if EDG try to go in with a game plan similarly as G2, it might not work the same way. But I mean, we don't really know yet. We do know that EDG is insane on the attack. We know that Kong likes to use an attack operator, which is very unique, especially in a comp like this. Sometimes they'll leave him on an island working B main alone. I mean, remember Champs, remember all these iconic moments that he's had with that attacking operator. Yes, it was a different composition and nobody was on that jet to support him, but I imagine he's still gonna do the same thing. I've seen him do the same thing in the Valorant Chinese matches that he's played. So it's definitely gonna be an awesome match, and we're finally getting into things right now.
You lied to the people.
Oh, no?
We're not getting into it.
I saw the clock going down. I apologize.
I am being told there is a tech delay. It is gear.
No.
But, haha, we fixed it. I mean, we didn't fix it, honestly. We didn't do anything except stand here. And now, it's been fixed. Now we're getting into the action. Now we're going to get to see how EDG played the attack side. You were mentioning the importance of Kong with the op and how effective he has historically been with it. See if he can do a bit of the same. Heretics, they've promised adjustments.
Ooh, silent but potentially deadly approach to the round as EDG. No utility invested at all. This contact style is just in the meta right now.
Toggling of that wall.
Here we go.
Now the nade, the flash, the swing, Howdong tagged by Boo on the other side. And Patatek has played his position perfectly. I don't think they know he's here. Meanwhile, Boo trying to strike at the zone. 1 for 1. The paranoia is perfect.
That's bomb too.
Can they settle on this? They're all here.
There's 3 players that'll just fight this A ramp while one watches the vent. But I think they made a step. Smoggy should be aware. He does the damage, but he can't convert.
Now Patatek filling in behind it as Howdong falls. Chi-Chu will join him. Pistol the way of Heretics.
That was nice. A Heaven control. Patatek just tucked that entire time in Heaven while Boo is there just taking pop shots. And honestly, Howdong, he jiggled that. He saw Woot there, but it was just still the mechanics of Woot that has been prevailing for this Team Heretics team.
I really like, though, you mentioned it earlier, but I really like the way Patatek played his positioning there, waiting for Boo's paranoia to come out, not just the pot shots, but the utility as well, and then the swing behind it. How do you really handle that in such a tight choke? You can't.
You really can't, and now for EDG, every time you go A ramp, you have to be worried about that A ramp re-clear.
Right.
Yeah, it was only pistols, but you see the potential that they can do, the damage they can do.
Right, and the ideas that they brought into this map. But it doesn't seem like they're interested in A-ramp this time around. They get the Orb B into the hands of Kong. With the Sheriff in hand, there's a slightly different re-clear.
He gets the info.
Persistence. Very nicely done.
And a Judge at the end of this, too.
We saw some Judge antics in the previous map. As silly as they were.
Didn't get as much value as we thought it would, but the follow-up utility is what shined in that moment. This time, I mean, Rians, he doesn't have any help at all. No util, nothing. So he has to really at least kill 2, 3 players even. Otherwise, EDG will have a free A site. On the minimap right now.
And a Judge.
Yeah. On the minimap right now, we saw Woot moving, but the contact will be here.
Oh, they're trying to fake that it's a mid hit. There's perfect, it's 1. But that's all it is, so the Judge will get picked up, the site will be open, Kong finding value, getting a little bit closer to that ult. But you've got so many rifles on the other side, this will be so difficult. Kong with high ground, he's gonna re-clear Heaven, he's potentially gonna re-clear ramps as well.
Such a good spot with the Judge. He's gonna have to drop though, because of the pressure from Heretics on A ramp. I mean, I think you heard that.
With nobody at his side. A reposition, now tucking back elbow. The paranoia, again, is going to connect onto at least 2. But where's the flood behind it? The spit keeping him back for now, forcing them to come out through Heaven. Woot creeping forward, Kong with the Judge, finding value. They're able to snatch this thing back, but it's only 1. Disaster avoided, but damage dealt from EDG, man.
Yeah, they did a really good job. That's what, 2 times in a row Kong Kong has traded that judge. And then this time they're able to get the bomb down on top of it, do even more damage.
What do you get, 2-3 kills with that thing?
Yeah. I mean, he's already 3 to a showstopper.
Yeah.
That's going to be big for the future rounds. Here's the replay. Nice shots from Chichu, too.
Got him. One enemy remaining.
And on the side of Heretics, it's this disciplined approach on the retakes. That's why they had so much success on the last map. I didn't really catch what he said right there, but I imagine it's, you know, just keep it calm.
There. Bomb buddy out.
Early one way already bested and disrespected.
And Woot, he started on the A side of the map early on. But since there was no rush, it looked like he was playing for a rush. Since there wasn't one, he's able to lean already towards the B side of the map. And the proactivity right now from Heretics is really impressive.
Flash getting a little info, the paranoia and the swing. They continue to impress.
That was a stellar entry right there from Woot. So decisive, so confident. He ran all the way from A site to get that.
Well, and the desk was talking about it, right? They've kind of gotten used to what these Chinese teams are going to want to play, these slow defaults at the beginning of the attack rounds. If Heretics can find the right place to strike, as they have been doing, as they did on Sunset, as they've done here, they're going to continue to punish it. And it's little things like that decision right there at the beginning of the round to pounce B main that will give them this advantage.
They're doing such a good job, Team Heretics. That's going to force the A split, the walk up. But there's trips here, Doug.
30 seconds
Trips, a
left.
deep smoke into spawn. Attack will have to clear it.
No way.
Now gets through, Rien's finding a little space behind it as well. Oh, how does Benji Fishy get away with that?
Down A.
With the ghost. Is he able to upgrade a weapon? Yeah, he is. 10 seconds left.
10
The spike's out of
seconds
reach. Smoggy's gonna have to push his way through it just to pick it up. 1 kill found, but that's another round the way of Heretics.
Oh my gosh.
That's perfect.
EDG. They're kicking themselves for losing that round. Benji Fishy with the ghost and elbow. I thought it was over once Rians ran through that smoke. Here's that proactive start to the round. Poor Kong Kong, he saw nothing on his screen but white. Oh, yeah.
For him to get away with that. And it was off of, I believe it was Patatek who was spamming the smoke from spawn.
That little
caused
distraction.
the turn, and that was all it was.
Yeah. And EDG, they picked the right site. They actually went the right site. It's just, they just got baffled by the crossfire from spawn and elbow.
So they're back to pistols. All towards A right now.
And they're making it seem like it's just a Cypher alert. But again,
The proactivity.
oh my God.
It's so clean. And yeah, it's just against pistols this time, but they're decisive in every decision they make. Smoggy with a couple of really quick kills to switch it back. Gets up into heaven. Punishes Patatek. Marian's on the trade. A 2v2 now as Kong Kong is spotted. Look at the beckon for the swing.
He knows he's low.
Daring the challenge. As the wall goes up, Rian's finds safe passage. Not able to land on Benji Fishy, who continues to be a problem. Chichu with the Sheriff in a 1v2. Rian's weak.
Last player
Oh
standing.
my gosh, that was the weak one! Chichu's not able to land the shots as Benji cleans it up.
EDG are doing so much damage on these eco rounds, and they're getting the bomb down on top of it. So yeah, it's helping their economy, but it's coming down to these 2v2s that are just not going their way. They're trying their darnest. I mean, Smoggy this round, the upgrade into heaven with the Omen.
So clean.
Oh my gosh. He almost got that last kill too. And if he gets that, it's over. He just 1v5. That was not the case though. And that's that 4-round mark for Heretics, causing a timeout for EDG.
Just like Sunset.
So similar. It honestly feels like the exact same map that we're watching right now. Slow approaches in the early round from EDG. This time around, though I think that they're picking the right sites a lot more than the last map. But, I mean, it's just like heroics from Heretics. They're playing off of each other so well.
And I think it goes back to a word that you and I have used a lot throughout this tournament, and that's disruption. That just really feels like the approach for Heretics here. Don't let them settle into that slow, defaulty attack approach. Don't let them settle into feeling out the map and then striking where they want. If you're going to take the fight to them, if you're not going to allow them to settle in, you're going to leave EDG in fits, and that's exactly what Heretics have done here.
Yeah, and that slow approach is how G2 absolutely destroyed Heretics. They completely dismantled them. They manipulated them around the map. They had them run circles around the map.
Right.
So now, I mean, the name of the game is proactivity based on any spot that EDG are even making noise. In this case, it was off of a Cypher trip, but they don't even care if it's a lurker, if it's the main pack. They're going to take that fight aggressively. So for EDG, they might need to try to bait out that trap utility, act like you're taking space and hold for the reclear. Maybe then you can get a punish. But sometimes it can be so hard, especially with Heretics. They're just on point right now with their mechanics. Their aim is, they're just dialed in on their crosshair.
Chichu has thrown this orb a couple of rounds now.
And he's ready to just go for another aggressive play here with Rocket. And it's off of the cam again. Just like Sunset, Doug.
So that orb going up and down suggests that somebody could have crossed back behind the box that you see on your screens right now. That's why Wood has to be a little cautious.
Oh, EDG need to back up right now. They understand the showstopper's there. But if I'm Woot right now showing that Roomba on B, I'm already going back to A.
Yep. Or at least going towards mid.
Yeah.
But he holds a little bit longer because the orb has gone back up B. EDG wanting to explore the middle of the map here. With Patatek close by and Benji Fishy, who again has just been such a thorn in their side. Can they punish this? Gun spotted, Rocket out, not connecting. Patatek will fall. Now the neural theft. Slowing things down even more, giving EDG even more options. Smoggy has already gotten back B. Benji Fishy, the only one who's close by. Spam connecting a little bit, but the site is theirs. Oh, the flash is so perfect. Kanka can't see a thing, but Smoggy and nobody can, and they connect. EDG with a big advantage here, but slow it down. There's no way Wu pulls off this 1v3 with 11 HP, no shot at all.
Another proper post plant from EDG. They look so good in those moments when they get the bomb down and they're kind of freezing the round. In this case, Heretics, yeah, they got that nice pop flash from Rians, but there are players from EDG waiting. Anti, they're playing anti, they're waiting. Even this, as everyone is taking B Heaven control. Howdong just holds for that vent push out, and I mean, that was all she wrote. I mean, it was a really clean post plant from EDG.
Yeah, but the problem is they haven't been able to get into those post plant situations. Yeah. I think they've got to solve that piece of the equation, because you're right, when they get there, they look comfortable. When they have time to set up, when they're playing the game, the rounds at their timing, it's great.
And they were fortunate that that showstopper from Woot didn't connect, because everyone was funneled in such a tight area there.
All Cypher util A. Most of the presence of Heretics there as well. It's just Boo who's got a Sheriff playing mid.
It's a really scrappy buy from Heretics as well. I mean, yeah, they have some guns invested, but EDG will now know that the B Heaven player is using that Sheriff. Maybe something to punish. Oh, but Heretics aren't budging at all. They're just staying in their setup. Why not? Why not gamble at this point? I mean, if they go B, you can go for another retake round, whatever.
Right. And you got Rian's ult.
And oh, these double trips, this could be really bad for EDG.
Is Benji Fishy gonna play spoiler again?
I've got your trail.
Interesting timing on the Seekers.
That should give the info that might cause a transition into vent and going B.
They've gotten Heaven space. The Seekers that are being traded, it seems like they're still considering it. Have not left Heaven. They've got to be cautious about this crunch.
And the time is going so low. If they're going to go B, they need to go now.
They're patient with it. Benji Fishy again, getting the first. Wood on the cross, and now time is up. They can't really reconsider this. They can't really decide to flip the map. They've got to commit A. 10 seconds left. They're starting to find some of the advantages. Benji Fishy has not moved at all, finally falling. He's picked up the spike, but there's not enough time. Again, it burns way too low.
Oh my gosh. I mean, a bit of fate played into Heretics' favor, because EDG, had they gone B, I mean, this is a free round for them. I thought after they invested the Seekers into this round, they saw everything going towards site, they would know it's a stack.
Yeah.
But they don't know. Maybe there's a judge in vent or something, you know, it could be so worrisome.
There was something that they saw where they decided to stay A.
Yeah.
No time. No time.
Maybe it was the entry they got. It kind of worked against them. This new split from Heretics, this defensive side, it's looked like night and day. They look so much better.
Look at the position Boo has taken.
He's
One-way
so good.
he is. And he was set up off a re-insert with that flash. This one-way coming through a little bit later. I wonder if that makes E2G second guess it, yeah.
But him alone, I mean, he just got a raised nade out by himself. Investing what? A rechargeable utility and then, yeah, 1 TP?
Yeah. You take that trade any day
I
of
was
the week.
literally about to say that. I'll take an Omen TP for a raised nade any day.
Konkong still has 2 satchels and his rocket.
I have the spike.
This is interesting here, too, for Heretics because they haven't really been able to punish some of this early slow default from EDG, at least this round, right? In other rounds, they found a lot of success, but this time there hasn't really been a commitment or enough info that's been seen to want to punish.
They are setting up this B split. This will be where EDG want to end. But there is 3 players of Heretics here, and Rians, he's tucked in back sight.
Chichu goes forward with rocket, or excuse me, Konkong goes forward with rocket in hand. Wu goes up top, it connects onto Boo, but Wu punishes back. Oh my gosh, he's gotten the 3rd! Wu single-handedly destroying EDG. And with 13 seconds left, again, time becomes a factor. Smoggy's healthy, yes. But now he's gonna have the neural theft to deal with. Do they try to pounce Patatek on the swing, willing to give away his life and secure the round for it? The clock decides another.
Oh my goodness, Doug. Woot is world class. I mean, he came to play.
12-6.
Even if Konkong went to rocket him, he tried to satchel. He's trying to get ahead of it right here. Doesn't end up dunking on him, but he ends up dunking on Chichu.
And then the other 2 after
Oh my
that.
God, he jumps up too. I don't think people understand how hard it is.
To settle your crosshair when you're up, yeah.
Exactly. And just like that, another gun round stolen for Heretics. And Woot, another showstopper. Man, Heretics came ready to play. Those changes they made, so fruitful.
And Izinho, I mean, he tempted us with it, right? He teased us with it.
Yeah.
Changes have been made, and we saw the obvious ones, obviously, at the beginning. Woot back on raise.
Toxins going up.
Maybe that's all they needed, man.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And with the way the way he played the last map, he's had full momentum, full steam ahead. He brought the heat into this one.
I mean, honestly, the way he's played this tournament.
I still just can't believe he feels nervous. Does not look like it whatsoever. I mean, I'm sure he's not nervous now. You know, he's warmed up, he's a map in, but still.
Right. Yeah, he didn't look nervous when he stood up out of his seat there.
That's his baseline. That's so impressive in a player.
EDG with the lean B, but Boo's paranoia will delay things a little bit more. 40 seconds left, the satchel's out now. Konkong with the Sheriff in hand. Patatek close by, but it's Rians who punishes.
Oh my gosh.
Another kill going the way of Heretics. But they've kept this really competitive here, but Smoggy's the only one left standing. He's got a stinger on the other side. He will punish with 1. Baiting Benji Fishy into the swing, but not realizing it. He's got a really big window here to play around.
He's got to be so worried about everything right now in this moment.
He's going to upgrade a weapon. 14 seconds left. Benji Fishy on the swing! And he lands another filthy shot!
He insted him. No time to even settle the crosser, settle the movement. EDG, they look so good in these eco rounds when it's scrappy. I mean, they go trade for trade, but when it comes to the gun rounds, it's just not there. I mean, they did a really good job here trading out. Even the split in heaven, that was good, but that's what I'm talking about. It was instantaneously.
Nice. Vamos, Brazil.
What? Okay.
What? Huh?
The head coach is looking at him the same way. The supporting coach is looking at him the same way. And second timeout now for EDG.
And in the previous map, I don't remember what the exact score was, but it was in the first half.
It was 8-2.
8-2.
7-1 now, a little bit earlier.
But the same concerns, the same problems.
I will say, though, the last time EDG did take a timeout, they did bring that half back, and they closed it out. So this is a good moment to potentially get a 7-5 half for EDG.
Sure.
they should be able to have a really good buy into this round. They saved last one. It was a little dodgy, but you know, it's fine. The thing is Heretics are winning these rounds without having to invest a lot of big ults into them. And then they use them for the gun rounds.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, again, EDG's on eco.
Right.
They,
and then
they have a great showing, comes down to a 1v1.
And then Veggie Fishy shatters the hearts of China once more.
Yeah.
And then we just replay.
This team in general, they've just gone toe-to-toe with the Chinese teams, and they seem to always come out on top. I mean, FPX really did give them a run for their money, though. This time around, they're not having it.
Don't keep them
Light
quiet.
armor on 4 members of the attacking side. Same orb from Chichu that we've seen the last couple of rounds. What is the approach here?
Toxins going up.
Slow default hasn't really been getting much value for EDG.
No.
Usually you try to bait out some utility with this, but Heretics are just so calm, they're so poised to not use anything early on.
The paranoia out in the face of Rien's. Boo repositioning, still saying
Oh.
clear of any of that utility, but Smoggy clotheslines him. On the swing, it looks clean as the fight ensues up in heaven. Rienzo still dancing around Woot. Close by with Rocket in hand and satchels to boot. He may not have to use them.
Spike down B.
It's just another dominant stomp.
They know exactly where Chichu is right now. I mean, even Woot just jiggling in spawn here. Why not use the showstopper? He saw him.
Yeah, I guess.
An easy cleanup.
You're so close to the end to have 2. The probability of getting another is pretty low.
Heretics aren't even giving EDG a chance in those rounds. In the gun rounds.
Yeah.
And Patatek, he anchored this B Heaven space so well. That molly to dissuade everybody to run through from middle, and then he focuses B main.
Exactly.
And then he snaps back. I mean, it's textbook.
He just plays that so perfectly, understanding his window is there for him to focus on sight. You're absolutely right.
And the star of the show. I mean, Woot, he's sitting at 14 kills. 14 and 7 to be exact. This kid is something else, man.
On the other side of the stage, Smoggy's the only one who's kind of close, 12 and 7, but had no success for EDG.
Yeah, and Smoggy, he's looked great. He's opened up a lot of rounds for EDG, but they just cannot close it out. Oh, here's that punish proactivity again. Oh, wait!
That wasn't supposed to go that way. Whew. More loss there than I think they would have preferred. They got the dog, they got the paranoia, and they got Woot dead. That doesn't feel too bad, but Kanka going so far up by himself, there's no way the rest of the team can join him. Now a TP through for the Smoggy, but at that point it's late. They've already lost their duelist. The pit invested, Chichu falls. Now they're gonna have to dance around Patatek's ult.
Heretics right now, they're just ready for everything. The protocols are in full effect.
Nobody in Smoggy get to the front door and they knock, but they're not allowed in. They have to creep around this pit. Maybe they get into spawn and try to flip the map, but the problem is they have 30 seconds left. There's not a lot of time to think this through.
So awkward in this sky flash from Rien's.
Oh, he's gonna but he's not able to dodge the flash. I love the idea.
There's an opening now. There's a chance.
20 seconds left. Boo's hot to trot, rotating over. Starting to corral and control them as they drop the pit. Patatek falls, a 2v2 here.
10 seconds
Persistent
left.
in the attempts. Boo's on the flank. The spike goes down. So does Smoggy.
Clinical right now from Heretics.
Even the little things, man.
Yeah.
The little things were going the way of Heretics too.
Slowly creeping up B Heaven, taking your timing when the bomb is being planted. And the protocols that I was talking about, they're trying to punish the Cypher Lurk. They get that done, but on the opposite side of the map, you have a Cypher, you have a Viper that are anchoring the B side.
Right.
They're beckoning EDG to run into that trap setup. And you see the cage come up, all of a sudden, Kong is isolated, and it's just, it's brutal right now for EDG.
And it may have just gotten worse. Woot has purchased an op. Rotating back A, and that's where EDG's headed. Crosshair trained. Target found. Kong down.
Fun fact, Doug, I did tell him when I saw him in the bathroom I wanted to see him buying up on the defensive side, and I'm glad that he did.
I'm glad you were able to communicate that to him.
True story. I'm actually serious.
Benji Fishy again is still playing back here. Wu taking a lot of damage, and it's Riens who punishes.
Cage triggered. I must wait a moment.
All of these conversations about EDG playing in front of a home crowd, the #1 seed out of China, how they're going to have the 6th man behind them. And it's true, because every single time EDG finds the tiniest bit of success, this place goes insane.
Yeah.
But Heretics have silenced this crowd for 11 rounds now.
They've definitely asserted their dominance in this series on these 2 maps. It's not over yet, but you can't help but feel like it is. Like the life is just sucked out of the arena right now. Everyone is in shock.
Last round.
I mean, it's 10-1, and you go, okay, Sunset, that's a really good map for them. We understand, but Split should be a different story. Kukuka mentioned on the desk she was worried.
Yeah.
And for good reason. But Nilzinho just kind of gave the finger to all of that.
And you know what? When you get rolled the way that Heretics got rolled, the second time around, you're way more confident going into a map like Split.
Yeah, 1000%.
Because it even came down to like shots just being missed for them. And honestly, I feel like we'll have a similar narrative for EDG the next time they play Split.
Possibly. An aggressive take of A-Main. The paranoia, the flash, the satchel's out. Boo, you madman.
He just ran into the full race nade from Kong. A little over-eager.
Yeah, I don't know where he was headed.
A little overconfident.
This is a really aggressive pit.
But they're just delayed.
Meanwhile, they're going to try to take main, but they have all of these trips. One of them already spotted. Benji Fishy punishes. And he's going to spot even more. Has to try to play his life here. Got to be careful as he spots another. The cage goes up. Haodong on the swing. Really nice footwork by Benji, but it's not enough. 3v3 for the site now.
And if they can get the bomb planted, this is where EDG have shined in this series.
They've spotted Kong. And that's their big success right there. You're right, you just mentioned it. This is where success comes through. Kong finding pad attack. These post plants have been good. And they're digging their heels in on this one.
So disciplined is EDG.
There.
Heretics are slowly creeping up, seeing if there's any mistake that EDG are making. But right now they're making none. Kong, he might find this timing right here.
Very nicely done. The ult invested, a 1v1. Surely you don't lose those like that. A 4K for Kong as EDG get their second, a silver lining on what's otherwise been disaster.
Switching sides.
A direct hit. That's not something you see every day from that showstopper. I swear that thing just peppers players sometimes, does like 20 damage.
Yeah.
But yeah, here's Wu just so confident that he was gonna get past that raise nade. And Kong, he woke up in this last round.
Last player standing.
Man, Smoggy's sitting at 14 and 10. Nobody else at double digits.
10 to half the way of Heretics. EDG look lost, lacking answers. We'll see if the desk can answer some of those for him.
I tell you one thing, Doug, I'm not sure at this point, like EDG is really on the struggle bus, and you got a Heretic squad that is just looking like phenomenal, truly. Let's go ahead and take a look at our HyperX Reflex moment of the day, because you got to give it to the boy Woot, just wooting all over everybody. I mean, this kid
He's just that Woot. The satchel over the rocket is utterly ridiculous.
It looked like, you know, like in the old James Bond movies when he had the ejecto seat car, you know, like you just like just catapulted into the sky. What was that?
This kid is an unfathomable talent.
Oh,
Damn. It's just crazy to see that Team Heretics can go from that previous split that we saw the other day to this, having control over everything, leaving the exactest pace and reacting to almost every single thing that EDG is doing. And on the end, just look at the end of this round. It happened like what? 3 times that EDG ran out of time. They couldn't even get the spike down. It's very concerning to think that the attack went this way.
And it's really similar issues to what we saw from some of the other Chinese teams that have already been eliminated from the tournament. Attacking sides where you're not getting enough information, you're contacting and waiting for a mistake from your opponent that never comes. And then you're losing these late rounds. And those mistakes, I mean, they've snowballed into a dominant, likely 2-0 here for Team Heretics.
and you know who got all that information on the Chinese teams? Heretics because they ran through it time and time again. It was almost as if they got the blueprint, and now they're just a few rounds away from winning this 2-0.
Yeah, exactly, but they still have to close this. They need to keep their head in the game because Kankan on the previous mob, he came alive in the later rounds and he can still do it now.
It's going to be quite the climb for EDG. Can they do it? Let's send it back over to Doug and Baby Bay.
Thank you so much. EDG down 8 rounds. And again, during that halftime break there, the crowd was doing their best to will them back into this map. Maybe it's off of Kong's back, maybe it's off of Smoggy, who continues to perform, but there's got to be a spark here. There's got to be something to kindle these flames.
It's just so tough because nothing has gone their way, even the 1v1s, right? Benji, Fishy just shutting them out entirely.
Yeah.
The shining star has been those post plans, but this time it only accumulated 2 rounds for them.
Right. And now you're going to have to deal with Wood on the attacking side.
Yeah. And already Heretics doing a 4-1. They're feinting the Sky utility at A.
Flash was invested, and now the dog.
They're keeping 3 players here. It's a perfect call.
I don't know if there's been enough, really, for EDG to want to move a couple of these players. 2 of them got tagged by the Paranoia, Wood the only one who has not. And he's going to be the one on the swing. The snap on Howdong is perfect, not realizing there's another on the other side. Smoggy's able to punish. But he will fall. Chichu trying to wrap around Pillar. Things slow down for just a moment as the dog now from EDG is intended to create a little bit more space. Kong up high, has to get the space back down, and Reams with the frenzy at that distance will drop the duelist. He falls down to a 1v2. Chichu with the ghost in hand, 57 HP. Spike not in hand, but the shots from Patatek come through.
Great trading from Heretics in this scenario. It got scrappy. There was a push and pull on the actual site. But that frenzy, it was perfect for the situation that Reams was put in. Those close range gunfights, all he has to do is spray and pray. Imagine we're gonna see the replay right here. Even the insta-dink right there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Steady with it.
Oh, he got him too in the back.
Waving in and out. Just like gliding.
I wonder what he said.
I mean, all steam ahead for Heretics here.
Let's flip and go, Doug.
11-2. A couple of members on EDG have to invest. They force up the Stinger and the Spectre.
You have to.
Yeah.
Oh.
That might be the only thing that's gone wrong for Heretics this map.
Literally. And a slow approach from Heretics. They know that EDG, if they want to win, if they want to come back into this map at all, that they have to do something crazy, something outlandish. This chip isn't broken either. Oh my gosh.
It's a pesky one. Howdong with 2 bullets left. Trying to land the shot. Hasn't managed to, but he got what he was looking for.
It's a great opening.
Yeah. Chichu finding some success.
And that's A site shut down, so that's going to funnel Heretics to speed up B.
It seems like EDG are ahead of it too.
Yep.
Because Smoggy and Chichu have already started to lean. As soon as that kill came through, they started to rotate. Remember, it was Howdong who was the first one here. The dog out through the smoke. The cage goes up. This rollout is really nice, but Howdong not able to find any success on the other side of it as Smoggy will fall too. They still have the 2 weapons they've invested, and Chichu's Sheriff strikes again. Now, finally, falling Kong from up in heaven, getting a couple. A 1v1, and Boo's gonna get the kill again. Just when it seemed like Kong was gonna deliver magic, Heretics get to series point.
It's the same narrative as those 1v1s on the opposite side. When EDG were on attack, it was Benji Fishy that was winning the 1v1s. In this case, it's Boo. But honestly, Kong, he did everything he could. He had to reload here, and the patience of Boo, I mean, just tapping away. Securing the round win, and you have to buy anything now for EDG. They have rifles, they have Spectres. No ults online. Chichu hit some really nice Sheriff shots.
It's been borderline perfect up until this point. Kong's able to get a couple of kills back.
Finally an advantage for EDG in one of these rounds.
But is it too late?
Feels like it is, Doug.
Toxins going up.
While all that's happening, all this B main pressure is happening, Benji Fishy is solo taking A ramp control. He broke the Cypher cam, so that will bait over a rotate from Chichu to try to help his teammate.
If he catches out Howdong here, this would be big.
Almost does.
And he does. The problem is, while that fight was going on, Chichu has started to rotate back A as well. The truth is, Heretics have a fully open map right now.
Yeah, I was about to say that opens the middle area of the map for Heretics. Once Benji Fishy sees this Viper, that might be a cue for Heretics to maybe go back to mid.
They're going to lean into this. They're still coming this way.
I mean, sometimes just grouping up and healing your teammate is the right call. Just trade out. They've been so good at trading in this series so far. Doesn't get traded this time around. That cage was the problem for them.
Oh, Chi-Chi's filling in on the space. And Konkon from the other side. Oh, I thought it was going to happen. Konkon gets his 4, though. EDG gets a 3. And the Rocket's online for the Duelist.
Yeah, he hit some crazy Spectre sprays. The first time in B main, the little collat right here.
Yeah.
This was really nice. And then in the back of the A side here. I mean, it's not easy to get kills with the Spectre with this distance ahead of you. He was dead on. So clean. You still can't help but feel like it's a little too late.
Certainly looks like that's the case on the face of the coaching staff, but Konkon has been a spark before. Maybe he can do it again. Aggression from Heretics at the beginning of the round. They just satchel past the pit. They just fully get ahead of the pit. What was intended to be mid-control has been lost right off the bat, and now the pit goes down.
It's ludicrous.
Now Howdong, with all the pressure surrounding him, will fall. Konkon is able to get one, make that a second. The Spectre and the Ghost on the other side, the Paranoia out. This might be too much even for Heretics to pull off, but Konkon will fall. Can they upgrade the weapon from there? No, I think it's a little bit too far away.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. This rotation because of the Omen ult. Patty Tech has having control.
Yeah, but he's already been flashed off. They understand where he is, or at least have a good idea about it. Can they close this out? Boo's upgraded a weapon, a Guardian in hand now, but he's playing close. In elbow. Nobody and Smoggy both there. No Paranoia, no Flash, no Dog. Just the smokes. And as the spike continues to tick away, urgency continues to swell for EDG. They've got to go here, and they've got to go fast. The first one through. Patatek still playing up in heaven. He's crept out on the other side, confirming that there's no presence. One comes through, but it falls down to ones. Patatek playing up in heaven. Time is so short. As the smoke goes down, he tucks behind him. Smoggy has to hold it, not even able to get it to have damage dealt. But I don't think he's got enough time. The Grim Reaper strikes again. A clean sweep of the Chinese teams as Heretic bests EDG.
Team Heretics, they came out here to prove they belong with the elite, and they just made a strong case. And Woot, the big difference maker,